Bonsoir, bonsoir. Hello, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Mardis, Rires, Gras at Curse Farm Comedy Barn. How's everybody's doing? Quick, who's here for the first time for a show? You'll need to clap your hand. I don't see half of the room right now. All right, and who has been for a show before? Good, and who's from Gras? And who's not from Gras? Good, well, welcome to Curse Farm. I'm Steve Vachon, I'm the owner of the farm. I'm the crazy guy who decided to create a comedy club in a barn. That's me. And you know who's crazier than me? My sponsor. So we have a sponsor. That's the reason why we can manage to bring such a good comedian lineup in Gras in the middle of the forest on a Tuesday night. So thanks a lot to my sponsor. We have Four Corners here tonight. Does anybody know Four Corners? Good. Well, Four Corners is actually an organization that will help. It's a community organization. If you need, you know what? If you need any help, call them. If they can't help you, they'll let you know, and they'll probably manage to bring you to somewhere that can help you. They're actually the one who convinced me to bring English comedy show in Gras. I wasn't sure at first, but look, we're a full room again tonight for our 6th show. Thanks a lot to you guys. Thanks a lot for Connor again. We have also Transport TL Lorrain. Does anybody know Transport TL Lorrain? Yeah. Good. If you want to have a nice entrance this winter with no snow in, that you can manage to go work on time, you call Transport TL Lorrain. If you need any excavation business, you call Transport TL Lorrain. Not only they're good, but they gave me money to say it. So call them. We also have arborist Etienne Saumier. Does anybody know Etienne Saumier? That's it. If you need a tree to be cut down, you call Etienne. He's sponsoring our show. He's a good friend. He's the one who makes sure we have nice wood chip trails everywhere. So thanks a lot to Etienne Saumier. We also have Laurie's Link. Does anybody know Laurie's Link? If you need any services, you call her. It won't cost you anything more. You call her, she'll supply with it any link, any business you need. We also have La Plombière de Gras, Roxane Dubois. Does anybody know her? You need more clap than that. Come on, we're starting the show, guys. All right, well, Roxane's also sponsoring the show tonight. We have Groupe Calta. They're biologists. If you need anything on your land to be checked out, the biology, your zone humide, you call them. And we also have a new sponsor for tonight's show. They're in the room right now. Does anybody know Fibre Argenteuil? All right. Does anybody still have services in Gras with the company that is really old, that has 4 letters in? You cancel that, you go to Fibre Argenteuil, you'll have services, and you'll actually hire a business that is a co-op in the area. So call Fibre Argenteuil, they're the ones sponsoring the show tonight. So that's pretty much what my job is for tonight, except I'm here also to introduce our host for tonight. I'll ask you to give a good hand of applause for our host tonight, Rachel Elie.
Give it up for Francis, who created that amazing intro song, people. Come on, even more energy. Let's go, people. Hello, and welcome to Mardi friggin' Rire, or translation, Tuesday night comedy show. Ma'am, you're not clapping. And you're right in the front row. You're going to have to put a little more energy into it. Well, listen, where are all the people that have been here before? Let me hear you. Okay, even more energy. And where are the people that are here for the very first time? Let me hear you. I love it. And you're clapping like virgins in the front row. You're excited, a little bit scared, titillated, but don't want to make too much noise. Well, listen, is there anyone who's here at a comedy show for the first time? Yes, you've never been to a live comedy show. Well, the way it works, first of all, we feed off your energy. If you guys give us shit energy, we might give you some shitty jokes, right? You guys paid, well, how much did you pay for the show? Oh, someone said nothing. I love it. You paid about $25, right? You're gonna get $50 jokes, $100 jokes. But if you guys give us energy and enthusiasm, we will go even further. You might get some $125 jokes, okay? And from me, you might get some $10 jokes because I'm the host and some of you have seen all my comedy, right? But listen, for the newbies here, the people who have never been here, a few little rules. Basically, give us energy. We'll give you energy back. If you want to contribute to the show, you have a little story you want to tell, stop talking, ta gueule, like they say in French. If you want, can they order drinks during the show? There's a rule about that, isn't there? Yes, they can. Just put your hand up and someone will give you something fabulous. Also, if your bum cheeks might be a little bit tight, as my therapist would say, release the dragon in your anal area, right? You're here to forget your problems and to jump in the universe of these comedians. I am so excited. We have 3 rock star comedians in the back. People who've never been here. I'm bringing in new comedians for you guys to discover. So every month, new comedians except for me. And I want to start the show by giving a huge round of applause to the 3 rock stars of comedy waiting to entertain you, Gore. And I am the hostess with the mostest. How many of you have never seen me before? Oh, okay, fuck, a lot of people. Okay, just so you know, I'm actually an English comedian, but I've actually switched to French comedy. And a lot of people say, my God, why would you switch? I've written 5 one-woman shows. I've been to Edinburgh, New York, Australia, and finally I decided to come to Quebec and switch to French because I decided it's time to make some money. Here in Quebec, some of you may not know this, comedians are the rock stars. Mike Ward, Martin Matt, Louis-José Hood they're in their 50s and are millionaires. I have never met, in my 3 years in French comedy, I've never met many new comedians that have Teslas. Several of my English comedian friends in their 50s still live with their parents. And don't have cars, and if they do, it's a used Mitsubishi with a window that opens like this. I'm gonna be a rich bitch. If we like applause, that's another rule. Someone starts clapping, what do we do? Don't leave her feeling like a loser. You get into it too. What's your name, gorgeous? You got dragged into the show tonight. You didn't know what you were in for, did you? And you're in the front row. What's your name? What? Sandra, she's like, this is a mistake. I'm a comedian in a farm, right? I'm still not sure if this is a cult or not. Like, seriously, coming from English comedy, I'm like, you feed us, you give us drinks, and you pay us? What's the catch? It's my 3rd week here, right? My 3rd show here, and I'm still not sure if you guys are going to pass out Kool-Aid at the end and go, join the Gore Club, join the Gore Club. So are you guys all friends, family? Oh, you don't know them. I love it. You're like, we're not associating right now. Not sure who this bitch is. Okay. I love it. How'd you guys end up here tonight? Oh, you do? Is this your first? So this is your first time here and you're like, I got to fucking laugh. Right. Okay. Love it. And are there a lot of people who are couples here tonight? Yeah. Yes? Who said yeah in the back? Whoa. Are you a new couple here? No. How long have you been with that penis, ma'am? 2 years, that's fucking new. That is new. Like my mom says, getting married's like making pancakes. Sometimes you gotta throw the first one out. She's with a rescue over here. And you're a rescue too. How long were you married before? Were you? 10 years, and you? 15? Okay, and what was it that you didn't like about your ex-partner? Come on, spill the beans. Oh, really? But you guys look like you fucked first, right? I have a CD and that song is on there, Fuck First. Don't have to worry about keeping it lean post-orgasmic poutine. You look very happy. See, where'd you guys meet? Where did you guys meet? Oh, there's a delay. Is it because it's a small town, you don't want people to know your business? A little bit, eh? Well, there's people from Gore. There's other people? Like, shout out where the other people are from. Saint Lazare? Is that near Saint Sever? No. Oh, okay, I have no fucking idea. Okay, so you're going to say, I'm from Schnitzel Flanks. Oh, where is that? And where are you guys from? New Lille? Millville. I'm not going to even ask Millville. I have no fucking... I went to St. Clotilde de Horton. What's that? Halifax. How did you end up here? Are you guys a couple? You're a couple? How long? Oh, I'm like, how long is his penis? Is this how long have you been together and how long is his penis? Oh my God, no, listen, that actually reminds me of a new joke that I've written, because a lot of you won't believe this, and I'm not going to explain it because I explained it at the last show, but my dad, believe it or not, is from Port-au-Prince, Haiti, and a lot of people don't believe me and think I made it up. I'm like, always, why would I make that up? Okay? No reason to make that up, but long story short, my husband is Italian, okay? He's Italian, right? Italian, but he's not Haitian. Like, look at how huge, look at my hands. I have huge hands and huge feet. If I were a guy, I have a huge ego. It's certain. I would have a huge ego, but the funny thing is, one of my sons, okay? First of all, my husband's Italian, but not Haitian big, right? He's Italian big. And one of my sons, he didn't get the Catholic guilt that I was brought up with. I was born to just hide your body. He walks around his friggin' bathroom naked. Like, everyone's seen his penis. And recently we saw his penis and I was like, my husband and I were like, oh my God, he doesn't have an Italian penis. My son has a Haitian penis. He's gonna be at a party and someone's gonna go, who do you look like? And he's gonna be like, I have my dad's eyes and my mom's penis. Hey, T-Ball bagay. Come on, someone wanted to applaud. This is the beginning, people. Yes, even more energy. I'm here to wake you guys up. Come on, get into it, fuckers. Oh, were you guys fighting today? A little bit, eh? Oh, but you guys are a new couple? Like, oh my God, you have the last bite. No, you just married? How long? 3 weeks. Oh. That's why she's sitting like this, because she's like, my crotch hurts from so much fucking. Oh my God, new line. How long were you engaged for? A year. Oh my God, that was fast as fuck. Oh wait, but how long were you together? 3 years, so total of 4 years. Oh my God, where did you get married? Rundle? Okay, I love, he's the spokesperson right now, right? And where did you guys meet? Elementary school, and then you got back together after how? Okay, you met. How old were you? Okay, like 0 to 8 kind of thing, or like kindergarten to 8, or 8 years old you met. Okay, but he seems to know. So you met when you were 8 years old to 12 years old, and then you switched schools, or? Okay, and then what happened? Did you call him and you're like, I was thinking about the sandbox again, honey? Bring me your shovel, motherfucker. No, like, were you on a dating app, or how did it happen? Oh, and was it like a letter, or was it an email? Okay, Instagram. She's like, what the fuck is a letter? So who wrote who first? He wrote you, and what did you say? You can't remember, but so basically, but you rekindled elementary school. And have you had like any flashbacks at all? To back then? Like, cause were you in love with her back then too? Yeah. Oh my, and you too? Oh, she said like this. She was like, not really, but he was. So you've met the love of your life. Oh my God. And she's like, well, 3 weeks, we'll see how it goes. I'm kidding. Well, big round of applause for the newlyweds. Oh my God. And I'm so curious how you guys ended up in Gore, Quebec. That's a whole other story. What kind of work do you do? Design, and how about you? Oh, you're both in design, in Gore. No. Where? Oh, Mont Tremblant. Okay, yeah, I keep forgetting this is like people coming from all over the place, right? But you know, I'll tell you guys a little bit about myself, and this is something new for the people. How many people have seen me before here? Okay, that's a lot of people. Well, listen, like I said, I've been with the same penis for 27 years. For those of you who have never met me before, same penis, thanks to therapy. And but I remember we had this beautiful vacation. It was at the 25-year mark. Oh, yeah, and that was Shania Twain, motherfucker. Now we know you're a real country boy, and we know what you masturbate to as well. Yes, shut your fucking phones off, people, or you will be destroyed. What's your name, sir? Dave? Dave's the fuck up in the family? Turn the fucking phone off, Dave. Dave, come on now. Have you been to the show before? Okay, I love it. So anyhow, I went on a little vacation with my husband. We went to Paris, and I find you guys have been together a long time. There's a lot of couples that have been together for more than 10 years. Okay, a lot of people. 20 years, more than 20 years? Oh, more than 30 years? Holy shit, 40 years? Are there some people who are 90 here? Okay, so how many years of marriage? 35 years. Okay, and I think there's people probably more than that, because you may agree with me. Even when you're together for a long time, you can still discover new stuff about your partner. And I remember at the 25-year mark, we went to Paris, and we had a beautiful vacation. And we ended our vacation, beautiful morning. My husband gave me a massage, and he sang. I love when he sings to me, and he doesn't do it very often, but he sang that song. Do you guys know that song? 'Cause you're amazing, just the way you are. Do you guys know that song? 'Cause when I see your face, there's not a thing that I would change. 'Cause you're amazing, just the way you are. All the guys look scared, but all the women love this song, right? I love that song. My husband gave me a massage, sang that song, and I looked at him and I realized something. I said, honey, I just realized that I've had the perfect morning of my life. And if I could choose, that's how I would want to wake up every day for the rest of my life. And I look at my husband. We've been together 25 years at this point, and I said, honey, how do you want to wake up every day? And he said, I want to wake up with my dick in your mouth. And I was like, every day? And he's like, yeah, every day. And I said that to my therapist, and she's like, well, it's obvious your husband is seeking some quality time. Oral pleasure in the morning means intimacy, closeness, so you might want to throw in a couple of breakfast specials. I call her the blowjob doctor. Anyhow, we're recently divorced. I know that's sad, but anyhow, that is, how many men want to wake up like that every day? You're not going to admit it, are you fuckers? Every day. Okay, people, we are going to get this show started. There were some people who were wanting to contribute to the show back there. Tagel, okay, just you can talk to me, but when the comedians are on, honestly, a lot of people don't know it. It's almost like, picture like you're about to have an orgasm and then you hear, Mommy, where are you? That's what heckling is like, right? It freaking kills the timing, kills the orgasm. Are you guys ready to have an amazing comedy show tonight? Sir, more energy right here. A guy looking at the ground. Sir, come on. Just from you, mister. Yes. Oh, he's a bit tired. All right, people, we're going to start the show off with a bang. This is one of my favorite comedians. We have two comedians that are here from Montreal, another comedian in from Ottawa. This guy did a bunch of shows this summer at Just for Laughs. He has a taping on Just for Laughs Originals on Sirius XM. He is hilarious, and the first comedian that comes on, it's always that person who's breaking the ice. So I want you guys to give a huge gore welcome to Ben Cardilli, everyone!
How the fuck you guys feeling tonight? This is amazing, incredible, what a space. Happy to be here with you. You guys don't recognize me right off the bat. I see these stares, it's okay, it's fine. I was on a little television show a couple years ago. It's true, called La Voix, The Voice for Quebec. Nobody gives a shit, okay? It's true, I made it to the quarterfinals, is pretty cool, right? Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's a little disappointing though, because I thought this was going to be like a launching point for my career. Turns out, you know what I mean? It's cool. You know, I was recognized in public one time. I was at a grocery store. The woman ahead of me in line, she turns around and goes, "Oh, look at you, big star." Buying his groceries in the same place I buy my groceries. I was like, haha, relax, mom, you're still paying for this shit, you know? Sad. But this is gorgeous. Honestly, this is amazing. This is, you know what? This is giving me like what's it? The Ark, right? This is the right. Noah's Ark, exactly. Thank you. I was finding my word. Really, God? These are the fucking people you're gonna save this time? I'm just kidding. You guys look lovely. It's cool. It's cool. I did drive all the way up from Montreal. It was a pretty long drive, but I love Montreal. Do you guys go to Montreal? Do you like Montreal? Yeah. I love living in Montreal. You know, I love Montreal so much. I'm just like a fanboy. Like I watched the new Scream movie. We know Scream, the franchise, the horror films, right? They're still making this shit. It's not that scary though. It's like Scooby-Doo for adults, right? But the last one was filmed in Montreal. So I was like, oh my God, I gotta support, I gotta check it out, you know? They tried to pass it off as New York, but we know right away it's Montreal, you know? Because every time the killer calls someone like he does, you know, he's like, what's your favorite scary movie? They're always like, en français s'il te plaît, you know? But it destroys the movie, right, when it's filmed in your hometown. You know what I mean? Because every time there's a new scene, you're not even paying attention to the plot anymore. You're like, oh my God, I've been there. Right? Like, no way, move the body, I've been there. Like the other day, I was watching this porn, and I knew right away it was filmed in Montreal, right? Because it was my ex. And thank you. I was like, no way, I've been there. It's crazy. It's crazy. I don't know, I'm 36, I'm a bit of a young guy, I don't know. Maybe I don't have so much life experience. You know, one of the biggest things in my life, of course, the pandemic. Talk about it for a little bit, if that's cool. Did the pandemic, it reached you guys? You guys know about this? Yeah, you guys were in on it? That's cool, all right, fine, cool. It's tough for me because I'm a bit of a germaphobe, bit of a hypochondriac, right? Also, I don't know how to cook. I eat a lot of fast food. It's a lot of people touching your food before you get it. I read this spooky article. It says apparently if you can eat fast food, you gotta bring it home and microwave it for 30 seconds to disinfect it. And I thought, hey, maybe the science makes sense, but I gotta say, I was one shitty McFlurry. That was just fucking soup. Cream of Oreo if you fancy, you know? But there's still some people to this day, right, wearing the masks. So, you know, and I know the COVID keeps coming back, whatever, but like you see people wearing the mask, and I don't judge. I'm not judging people, okay? I don't know the science, I barely read, okay? But the debate to me has been hilarious. Just last week, there was a guy walking on my street wearing his mask, and a guy yells at him, says, you don't have to wear your mask, okay? You're outside. The other guy, without skipping a beat, just turns around, he's like, this isn't the mask, this is your mother's panties I got from Craigslist. Which I thought was wild because, as we all know, he would have got a way better deal on Kijiji. And you got to shop around, you know. But I did get vaccinated throughout the whole. I got all the vaccines. I collected them all, like the Pokemon. I just got all the vaccines. I just trusted the vaccine throughout the whole thing because, you know, again, I don't know the science. I barely read. Did you guys get the pricks? That was the AstraZeneca energy, I think, is what that was. It's cool, you know. I trusted the vaccine, except at one point during the pandemic. I don't know if you guys heard this, but they said that Quebec was going to be developing our own vaccine. And I remember thinking, I don't trust that shit for a second. I don't trust that I would have woken up the next day having completely forgotten the English language. Mais qu'est-ce qui se passe, tabarnak? Legault's issuing a statement like there was a minor side effect. Definitely not on purpose. You know? It's cool. Some of you are liking that joke, some others are reaching for their gun. We're in the farmland, it's cool. The last lockdown, last thing I'll say about the pandemic, the last lockdown was the toughest one because, of course, it was over the holidays, like the Christmas holidays or whatever. We didn't get to see our families. I didn't get to see my grandfather. He's an older man. We like to spend time with him. But, you know, finally we came around. I get to see now where he's still doing well. I get to see, like, just last weekend I got to see him, right? I was at a gender reveal party. I know. What the fuck are we doing? It's 2024, right? But we're Italian. We got to do this shit sometimes, right? So we were at my cousin's gender reveal party. Oh, I'm sorry, I screwed that up. Hold on. It was for his kid, of course. That would have been weird if he was in the closet in this bathrobe, you know, jumped out like, surprise, motherfuckers! Thanks. It's like, we know, Philip, also it's not that cold in here. What the fuck, you know? But they did the traditional thing, right? They got a cake, they cut it open, pink or blue, surprise, right? Here's the issue. The cake shop, they fucked up. Yeah, they sent them a regular cake, okay? And most of us caught on pretty quick, but still, you should have seen my grandfather's shock and disappointment when the cake was chocolate. He's a racist old man. He still had a piece, though. That's progress, right? We are getting him there slice by slice, baby. I'm assuming this isn't like a dating app crowd, right? You guys just kind of walk a mile to the next farm and like, anyone single? You guys met on dating apps over there? Someone was waving? Oh, yeah? So you just swiped past all your cousins and finally found... Exactly. That's amazing. No, I'm jealous. What app was it? Tinder Classic. The fucking You found him. Oh, shit. After how many? None. He was the first one?
You ever get told 18 times in a day you want to come over?
Ooh, how many dick pics?
Too many?
I want to see some of those. I don't know what a normal one's supposed to look like. I'm actually jealous because it seems like a nightmare, right? But it's a whole cultural thing that's happened. I see people are actually like finding love on Tinder. It's cool, you know. But like, my wife and I are married. My wife and I, we met 14 years ago, so this is before Tinder even existed, you know. So I've never been to that particular heavy petting zoo myself. But I will tell you one app where I almost found love: Google Maps. She's got that, you know, minxy voice, you know, especially when she speaks French. In 200 meters, turn left on Avenue René Levesquez. It's like, you know what I mean? She's probably like super helpful in the bedroom, could just walk me through the whole thing, you know, like, in 27 pumps, slow down to avoid kids. You're like, thinking. You jump to doggy style, she's like, you were on the fastest route. Despite several beers, you will arrive in 41 seconds. You know? Just might be super awkward, right? The first time she sees my, you know, be like, ooh, slight left. Thanks for laughing at that. That's real nice. I was being vulnerable. You guys took advantage. It's cool. All right, a little bit of an explanation of where I'm at in life right now. If it seems like I'm jittering up here and I'm like skipping words, it's because I haven't slept in a while, to be honest. A couple months ago, I had a little baby. I did. Ah, thank you. Thank you. It's all to say that, like, if any of like my jokes don't land tonight for you guys, to be honest, I really appreciate the peace and quiet. It's super considerate. It's very nice. You guys are terrific. You know what I mean? It's great. Actually, it's worse than I say. This baby we just had is actually the second child we've had in under 14 months. No applause for that shit. That's insane, okay? Let's just say that one of those kids was very planned. I'm not saying that the second one was a mistake, okay? We always knew that we wanted to have a second kid. He just came a lot quicker than we hoped. Probably because so did I. And in my defense, the first one took a year and a half to conceive, right? The second one, a minute and a half. It's awful, man. It's awful. But they're both at such beautiful ages. Anybody here have kids? Okay. Wow, Tinder already? You guys are 4 years. And yeah. Oh, how old are your kids? 10 months. Beautiful. That's fantastic. That's a beautiful age, right? That's how I make myself feel better about it. They're both at such beautiful ages, right? Like, it's cool. Like, the new one is still fucking useless. But the older one, he's starting to stand up and show us who he is, right? He's starting to have the football just came on the TV randomly one day. It was just on, and he starts seeing what's happening on the screen, and he's picking up his little foam ball, and he's running headfirst into furniture, right? So my wife and I, we look at each other, we're like, oh my God, he's gonna be a quarterback. As in, he's gonna be a quarter semester behind the other students. If we don't buy him a little helmet or some shit, you know? But who are the newlyweds? Newlyweds? Beautiful. This is good. She's like, don't tell him. It's cool. This is nice. It's important. Everybody in a couple, you guys come out here. Sometimes you go drinking together, right? It's important. We finally got to do a date night, my wife and I, after all this trauma. We got to go out and drink together. And you break down barriers. You get to know each other. It's important, right? But my wife, she's obsessed with this shit called the pump and dump. Do we know what this is? See, this guy's looking at me like I'm talking about jerking off while you take a shit, and that's not it, sir. He's like, I pumped and dumped twice today. I'm not sure. It's because there's alcohol in the breast milk, right? She's got to pump it out, throw it away, right? Here's the issue. I'm an alcoholic. So you know what I'm thinking? What a waste, you know? The other night, we're out having drinks, we're having a great time. We get home, she's like, honey, I got to pump and dump. I'm like, babe, you had vodka and Kahlua. We got White Russians on tap, you know what I mean? Invite the neighbors over for a little amuse boob. Thank you. There's some claps. You guys are really clappity at the front, and now you're like, that's getting the feeling you guys hate my fucking kids. But, no, it's cool. Yeah, but my wife and I, you guys, you get, like, people have kids. You guys ever get into a fight about who does more for the kid? You're losing one of these fights right now? You're winning. Yeah, usually it's the mom. I'm going to let you in on, so my situation, I'm going to just give you a little bit of a background, and you guys can make your decision. I'm not, going to take offense. It's fine. My wife, she's a lawyer who is also the primary caregiver. And I am here with you fuckers right now, so probably her, you know what I mean? That's right. I'm an alcoholic, she's a lawyer, at least one of us could pass the bar. You know what I mean? It's cool. But she's a lawyer, so she cuts right for the jugular. You know what I mean? She just goes right. She knows exactly what to say to just end these conversations very quickly. Like earlier today, what she told me, she's like, well, guess what? I breastfeed the child. So scientifically, it's proven that you will never have the same bond that we do. And I was like, that hits. You know what I mean? But I also have this like sunny disposition, this ADHD response in these like fights and these situations. So I just pop right back up. You know, I'm just like, yeah, well, you know what? I think I'm doing pretty good. Because when you go to sleep, I just pop a bottle in his mouth. We both look at tits on my phone. So I'm like, this look like your mom's. This look like your mom's. These are fake. That's where formula comes from, okay? All right, last thing I'm gonna tell you, okay, sure. Clap for my failures, sure. It's cool. Last thing I'm gonna tell you and I'm gonna get out of here is my friends. You know, every group of friends, like, you know, there's always the first to have kids. I was definitely the first one of my friends to have kids, and they knew that was gonna be the case. You know what I mean? Because I've been like a dad since I was like 15. You know what I mean? I just have that vibe, that like weird, like not cool, kind of like always saying the quirky little whatever, you know, they can barely. You know what, my friends, they're all single, they're having adventures all over the world. We'll get together, like this is one of my toxic traits. This is what makes me dadly. We'll get together at a bar, like this, and for the first half hour we're there, I'll be bragging to them about where I parked. Right? That's dadly as fuck. I'm like, boop, boop, right there. You know what I mean? You know what they brag about? This is what I gotta listen to for the rest of the night, okay? I think some of you have never heard these words put together. It was just like, hey man, last night at the club, I pulled a 10, bro. I slept with an Instagram model. And I'm there like, that's pretty cool, man. But did you park right in front of her place? Like that's a 10 for me, you know? I told you I'm a dad, right? My issue is not parking. It's pulling out is the problem. And thank you guys so much. Give it up for your amazing host, Rochelle Ali.
Crowd, holy cow. A little chatty over there, ma'am. You haven't gotten out in a while because you have a new baby. How old's your baby? 10 months. Oh, you're at a really new time because my kids are now 21 and 23. But I remember when I first had kids, I was living in Toronto, and I lived, Toronto can be, back in the 90s, it was a bit rough. I lived right next to a house. It was like actually a crack house. There were people doing crack in this house. And I remember my son was just a baby. And I was such a good mom, right? Beginning when he was just under a year, I read all the books you can read on parenting. I'd sing songs, I'd play games. I'd be like, open and shut them, give a little clap. That's for the stone people in the audience. And I remember at that time, my neighbor, there was a woman who had 2 sons. She was missing a tooth, and I saw her just deteriorate, and I knew she was doing crack. She lived in this crack house. They got busted once, and she was always pissed at her kids. She was always like, get in the friggin' car, you little assholes. Get in the friggin' car. Pissed at her kids. And I remember I judged that woman. I would look at my baby, and I'd say, that's a very bad crack lady. Mommy is never gonna talk to you like that. That's a very, very bad crack, Mom. Mommy is never, ever gonna talk to you like that, even when you're a teenager. And then when I had teenagers, once you've had teenagers, it made me reflect on that woman. And I remember when my kids were 13 and 15, I thought, that woman did crack because of her kids. Even my grandma, 26 grandchildren, 4 children of her own, every night, 2 vodka and orange and a cigar. And I judged my grandma. I was like, grandma's an alcoholic. No, my grandmother drank so she could love her children. All right, you guys are adorable. My God, I love you, Gorm. All right, people, we're going to keep this comedy extravaganza going with someone who I adore. I've been working with her for the last 11 years. She's all the way from Ottawa, you guys. She's won 2 amazing contests. Please lose your minds for Simone Holder, everyone.
Hi, everyone. How's it going? Thank you for having us here, and thank you for coming out on a Tuesday night. You got me out here in the middle of nowhere. That's how much I love Rochelle. That's how much I love you guys and comedy, you know? So I was at a party recently, and somebody ran up to me and said, "Do you like cake? You want some?" And I was like, "What have you heard? Do I look like I don't like cake? Don't disrespect me like that." Yes, I love cake. Give me some. Better yet, just point me to the cake. Stop wasting this valuable cake-eating time. I was so embarrassed when I realized that by cake, they meant cocaine. Still good. Quite a few of my friends have given up alcohol over the last few years for various reasons. And I'm supportive of them, I'm proud of them, I'm happy for them. But them giving it up has forced me to reevaluate my own relationship with alcohol. Because I grew up in Quebec, 18 years old, alcohol and fun go hand in hand, as far as I'm concerned, right? Yeah, exactly. But after giving it a lot of thought and talking to my friends who've given it up, I've realized that I don't need fun. I'm a lot older. I'm a lot older than I look. I'm 57. Yeah, thank you. Black don't crack. It's true. That's real. It's real. It's not a myth. It don't crack. But earlier this week, actually late last week, I had a medical appointment. And my doctor said that despite my age, I could still get pregnant. I punched her so freaking hard. I was like, no. Absolutely. Are you insane? No, I have 3 eggs left. And I want them powdered, not fertilized. I always thought that as I got older, I'd gain wisdom and experience and the ability to take load after load after load after load without the fear of getting pregnant. I waited over 40 years for that, and she took it away from me like that. Bitch. I was so upset. Because according to my doctor, I'm not considered fully into menopause until I go 12 consecutive months without a period. Guess what's been happening to me right at the 12th consecutive month mark? Freaking Shark Week, it's awful. It's horrendous, I do not recommend. And if all of that weren't terrible and traumatic enough for me, she looked me dead in my face and said, "That's what you get for looking so young." I punched that bitch again. I'm single. Okay, but I know what you're thinking. How could all of this be roaming around wild, free, and untethered? I know, that is my cross to bear. But I've noticed that some people get very upset, hostile, angry with me for being single. And they'll come at me really obnoxious and say things like, "Why are you still single?" Or, "Aren't you afraid to die alone?" And I'm like, "Oh my God, Mom. Wow." And the worst part of that is when she said that to me, my cats were right there. My mother once wrote a letter to a dating advice columnist about me. It was printed in the Montreal Gazette. I read it, not realizing it was about me. I was like, oh, that poor fucking loser. not realizing I was the poor fucking loser. My mother came clean and told me what she did, and I said, Mom, why? Why would you do that? And she said, I just wanted to help. I was trying to help you. And I was like, Mom, do you think I'm a loser? Do you think I'm pathetic? And she said, yeah. It's okay, she's dead now, it's fine. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. I haven't always been single. I was married once, and my ex-husband was Greek, he was white, and his entire family hated my guts, hated me with a passion, especially his mom. She was a cunt. I hated her too. She was awful. I hated that stupid bitch. Oh my God. She was terrible. But yeah, the whole family hated me for the sole reason, simply because I'm Catholic. But last summer, my ex-husband contacted me after 22 years. 22 years, we haven't seen each other. We haven't spoken to each other. We don't have kids together, so I was like, what's going on? What the hell? He wanted to tell me that he was sick, and he wanted to make amends. And I was like, oh man. I was shocked. I was saddened. I was hoping he was already dead. But I've come to terms with being single. I'm fine with it. It's okay. It's just that I never expected that at this stage of my life that I, an attractive woman with no gag reflex, would still be on the market. I'm so confused. So confused. But being single, I don't like using the apps. Anybody else here use the apps? No? Okay. Good for you. Good for you. That's why they're not working. You know? Yeah, so I don't like using them because it makes me very uncomfortable. I feel like I'm awkward and weird, you know, and I'm from the generation where you weren't supposed to meet up with people that you found on the internet, you know, so it's all stranger danger for me. Also, I'm tired. I've been using these things on and off since the 1900s. Like, I'm done. I don't want to use them anymore, you know? But my friends and family really want me to meet someone, you know, more than I do. And they're always encouraging me to go back online. You know, use the apps, get back on that horse. You never know. That's their thing, you never know. And I'm like, okay, I'll give you that. You never know. I could meet the love of my life or my killer on Tinder. I guess that's part of the thrill of using the apps. But honestly, I don't even care if he's a murderer. I don't care. Just don't waste my time. My time is more precious. Don't waste it. Either kill me, get in here, or get the fuck out. So I moved recently, and I used to live in a very large apartment complex in Ottawa. And it was so large that I didn't know my neighbors. I knew one person in the building the whole time that I lived there. And so I was coming home one night, man gets on the elevator with me. I'd never seen him before. And he had done a lot of shopping. He had like Walmart bags and stuff with him. So turns out he lived on my floor. So when we get to the floor, I said, would you like some help with your bags? And he said, sure. So I grab a bag, I walk down the hall with him. Get to his door, he says, thank you, offers me some cake. And I'm like, thank you. And I turn and I start to walk away, and he goes, hold on, I need to tell you something. So I stopped, and he says, you're adorable. You are so sweet. I should marry you. And I was like, sir, relax. I just did something nice for you. Why do you have to turn around and threaten to ruin my life like that? How dare you? But like I said, I just moved, and when I was packing up my old place, in my kitchen, top shelf right at the back, I found a brownie kit. So what it was is a little cast iron skillet with a pack of brownie mix and 2 Toblerone chocolate bars. You probably see them at like Farmer Pre and stuff like that at Christmas. I don't know how long it was there. I lived in that unit for 4 years. It was there at least 4 years. So I pull it down, and it's covered in cardboard, and just the handle is sticking out. So I'm looking at this thing. There's no expiration date on it. And I was like, can I still eat this? Is it still good? And that was the most fat girl thing I've ever done in my life. Because if that were a salad I found up there, straight to the garbage. Straight to the garbage. Easy. No mental gymnastics. Can I eat this? No. Garbage. Simple. Simple. Some people don't like the word fat. I don't care. That's how I describe myself, But I'm all about people feeling comfortable. Use the word that feels best for you. If you like fat, use fat. If you like curvy, use curvy. If you like trans slender, use that too. I don't care. Do you. Do you. But what I've noticed that whenever I say that I'm fat, there's always somebody that goes, no. Don't you say that. Don't say that. You're beautiful. And I'm like, bitch, I know. I said I was fat, not ugly. Jeez. But one of my guy friends thinks it takes a special kind of man to be with a fat woman. I disagree. I think he has to be secure, confident, and brave, because I'm getting on top. Yeah. I'm gonna ride him like a freaking dolphin at SeaWorld. Okay? Bang him like he owes me money. And if he dies, he dies. I love dogs. You have dog lovers here? Yeah? Yeah. I grew up with dogs. I don't have a dog now, but I grew up with dogs, and I love them. And it really bothers me when people compare terrible men to dogs. And they say things like, he's such a dog. He's such a dirty dog. I hate that. I hate that. I wish men were more like dogs. I do. I do, because no dog has ever hurt me or pissed me off to the point that I wanted to put it down. No dog has ever been like, what do you mean, what are we? Never. No dog has ever said that to me. Comparing terrible men to dogs is an insult to dogs. Like, do better. Be better. Be a good boy. I love cats. Any cat people here? Woohoo, yes, I love cats. I share my home, I had 3 cats. I lost one about a month ago. Yeah, thank you. So I share my home with 2 black cats now. I live in Wakanda. Yeah. But I know earlier I told you that I don't like using the dating sites, but it's a necessary evil. Mama's got some needs, so, But I have to tell you that my current dating site is the most accurate and successful I've ever created, and all I did was describe my cat. That was it. Friendly, motivated by food, loves to be aggressively stroked. But liking cats, or at least not hating cats, is a non-negotiable for me. And I was on a date, things were going really well, up until he said, I hate cats. And I was like, oh man, okay. That's the purpose of dating, you find out if you're compatible or not. So without breaking eye contact, because I didn't want to waste any more of my time. I didn't want to waste any more of his, so without breaking eye contact, I slowly pushed his drink off the table. And then I presented my butthole. Look at it! Look at it! And then I jumped up and ran out of the bar at top speed. My name is Simone. Thank you so much.
Simone Holger, everyone! Some of you are going to try that tonight. I know it. Oh my, I can't believe we're almost at the end. We're almost at our last act of the evening. I'm sure when I got on stage, some of you think I look like someone. People always think that I look like someone. I remember when I was 16, a group of guys came up to me and were like, "Are you Elizabeth Shue? Does anyone know Elizabeth Shue?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they were like, "Hey, can we buy you a drink?" I was like, "Sure." And then they were like, "Oh, a couple, hours later, they're like, 'Oh, do you want to go to a party?' And I'm like, 'Oh no, I'm shooting in the morning.'" But I felt so good that I look like a B actress that not many people know. Another time, someone told me I look like Helen Shaver. Does anyone know Helen Shaver? Yeah, no, I look like an actress nobody knows in Canada. And I remember I was watching Columbo. She was on Columbo, and we're watching the movie, and my mom's like, "Who's this kind of ugly-looking actress?" I'm like, he's clapping for that, fuck you. And I'm like, yeah, that's someone I look like. But I love it that she's almost as famous as I am. Like someone's like, "Oh, are you that stand-up that talks about vagina a lot?" And she's like, "I've heard enough of that bitch." And then I remember recently someone said, "You look like Joan Rivers." And I was like, her face, she looked like a monster. And he was like, no, before plastic surgery. And I'm like, "She was ugly before plastic surgery." And he's like, no, when she was on Johnny Carson. So I look like Joan Rivers for 10 years when she looked good. Thanks, asshole. And he clapped, Dave clapped, and looked at his wife. "You are not getting laid tonight, Dave." And you're the daughter? Did you arrive late? Oh, how'd that happen? What? Oh, you were working. Okay, what kind of work do you do? Oh, flight attendant, nice, okay. But someone recently again told me I look like Madonna. And I was like, oh my God, I loved Madonna. I loved her when, Like a Virgin. She's like, no, Madonna now. I'm like, thanks for specifying, you asshole. But I remember Simone was talking about dating, and I'm sure the married people are so excited to not be on the apps, and the girl with the newborn. I find how many people are under 25? Okay, you guys are a different generation. You guys have dick pics. We had live dick. Does anyone remember that? Right? You're in a park, you pull out your sandwich, an old man pulls out his penis. Yeah. Picnic is over, right? I call that surprise penis. How many women have had surprise penis here before? So many, and it's never happy surprise. It's always like, "Oh shit, I thought he wanted directions." No, he wants to show it to me. It's never a happy. How many guys have seen surprise vagina? Let me hear you. Yeah, no one. I actually live in a small town, Carp, and I went to a place next door called Carlton Place, and this is the only town where I've ever said, "Has anyone seen surprise vagina?" And he said, "Too many to count." This is a bartender who owned a fucking bar. And then I was doing my show, and the technician, I said, "Has anyone seen surprise vagina?" And the technician yells, "Too many to count." And I'm like, "Where are you from?" He's like, "Carlton Place." So if you want to see surprise vagina, go to Carlton Place. But I have a theory about surprise vagina, okay? Because you never hear about surprise vagina. Vagin surprise? You never hear about it because I think, first of all, women admit it. A woman in a trench coat flashes her vajayjay, you're going to be a little critical. You're going to be like, "Oh my God, check out the bush on this gal. Listen, do you want me to pay for an esthetician?" Like, sometimes you give people money, you'd be like, "I have an esthetician who can clean you up so nicely." Like, everyone's getting visuals. I remember a guy I know was in LA and a homeless woman flashed her vajayjay, and it was homeless vagina, so it was like, who's your mommy, je suis. Right after that, he was like, I think I'm gay. But my theory on why we don't have surprise is, admit it, there's some guys in here, if there was vagin surprise, imagine like on the main street in Saint-Sauveur, there's a woman wandering. There are some guys tonight, they'll be like, hey, what are you doing after the show? I hear vagin surprise is in Saint-Sauveur. Dave would be like, I'm going, motherfuckers. All right, people, you guys are an amazing audience supporting live comedy. I love you guys. Well, I'm so excited that I get to bring all my favorite comedians to Gras. This guy I've been working with for a very long time. He took a little break in the middle and he's come back, and we are so excited to have him here. He did a Comedy Now special. He's been at Just for Laughs. He's done so many of the amazing things you can do here in Canada. Please give everything you have left, all of your energy, all of your love for Dan Bingham, everybody.
Hey! How you doing? You guys are well trained. This is gonna be fun. Good to be here with you guys. Good to be back. Good to be back. I was traveling recently. I was in Vancouver, British Columbia. Anyone been there? Yeah. It's a beautiful place, right? But I mentioned those to a buddy of mine. He was like, Vancouver. They're nothing but a bunch of granola-eating tree huggers. Like, what am I supposed to say to that? Like, yeah, fuck them. Eating healthy and loving the planet like that. What a bunch of assholes. Yeah, they should be more like us in Quebec. Bunch of poutine-eating chain smokers. Yeah, more like us. Bunch of smoked meat-eating pigeon kickers. So I was out shopping for a new toaster recently. I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but there have been amazing advancements in toaster technology. Did you know there is now a cancel button on toasters? Yeah. Right beside that little dial that controls how dark you want your bread to be, there's a button. Cancels the entire toasting process before it's too late. How busy are you that somewhere in between insertion and poppage, you're going, this is fucking ridiculous. Honey, you want to cancel that toast for me? I don't have a goddamn minute. These are the same people that pull their food out of the microwave when there's only 4 seconds to go. Yeah, fuck off, Gore, you all do it. It's like 6, 5, 4. Okay, get out of there. I can't wait any longer. My lasagna is bubbling. I can see it. So my last name is Bingham. You know, I always hated my last name growing up because Bingham is a very English name, and I grew up in Montreal, you know, which is very French, and French people just can't pronounce Bingham. They just can't do it. I'm like, hey, Dan Bingham. They're like, Ben quoi? C'est bizarre. So I'll spell it out, but that just makes things worse. Because on paper it's spelled B-I-N-G-H-A-M. Disaster. Because on paper that spells Bingham, which I could deal with. Except there is no ing in French. There's no ing rule. So what happens is they just throw out the N, and I become Dan Bigham. Yeah. Yeah, it was awesome growing up with the nickname Gros Jambon. Gros Jambon, comment ça va? Très bien, Jean-Françoise? Guess I'd rather be a Gros Jambon than, I don't know, a Petite Saucisse. Hey, Tiny Wiener, comment ça va? So before I got into comedy, I used to work in an office with a buddy of mine, this French dude named Serge. Now, Serge's English was almost perfect, right? But he'd make mistakes from time to time. Like instead of saying, hey, Dan, watch me fuck with that guy's head. Oh, yes. Serge was like, hey, Dan, watch me fuck that guy in his head. I think I'll pass, dude. I think I quit. Minor difference in phrasing, major difference in mental imagery. So this one night I walk into a bar and I see Serge. He's hitting on these 3 women. He's a very ambitious guy. I walk over to the table. Serge gets very excited and he turns to the women. Now, I think what he wanted to say was, oh, this guy's the bomb. Or, oh, this guy's the shit. What Serge actually said was, oh, this guy, he's a shit bomb. Thank you, Serge. Worst wingman ever. Like, how does one even recover from an introduction like that? I'm standing there at the table, I'm like, yeah. Yeah, that's right, ladies. Hope you brought an umbrella. When I explode, it's gonna be dig-a-lass. So to get him back, I was like, hey, Serge, why didn't you tell us about that guy you fucked in the head? Yeah. If I'm not getting laid, you're not getting laid, pal. There's a lot of cock blockage happening that night. It's French for cock block, for those who don't know. I'll never forget the first time I heard cock block. I didn't understand what that expression meant. I thought it meant it's like when someone blocks someone's cock, but like with their own cock. You know what I mean? Like in goes the cock, and you're just like, cock block! I don't know. So I quit drinking. Thank you. No, it's too late. No one ever claps for that. Which is funny. Someone comes up here like, oh, we just had a baby. Everyone's like, no! Celebrate the miracle! Yeah, miracle. 2 people doing exactly what every molecule in your body was designed to do. Meanwhile, I'm not doing what every molecule in my body wants to do. You guys are like, nope, sorry. We only clap for miracles, bro. So I have been sober for a couple of years, probably why my hair has turned white. Just fucking dealing with reality head on, you know? Guys, I am 27 years old. No, you're not supposed to clap for that. That's not... So here's the thing, like I didn't have to drink every day, but once I started, I couldn't stop. So I had to avoid happy hour like the plague, right? Because in Quebec, they call happy hour 5 à 7. Yeah, exactly. Who the fuck leaves at 7? Like, how do people even do that physically? I'm watching them go. I'm like, guys, where are you going? There's still 8 hours of drinking left to do. For me, usually turned into Sanka jail. So yeah, I did. So I mentioned Serge, and his English wasn't the best. My French isn't the best either. Like I'm bilingual, but I still fuck up from time to time, especially with like the gender of objects. You know what I mean? Like the le, la, un. I fuck that up all the time. And I have performed stand-up comedy in French one time, just once. Now, most of the times when you want to do stand-up for the first time, you'll do it in like a supportive environment, like an open mic or something like that. Not this guy. I decided to audition for a reality show called En route vers mon premier gala. Anyone heard of that show? Just rolls off the tongue, that name. So I auditioned. I had a 2-minute audition. I was me in front of 3 judges and a camera crew. And I did a joke about how I struggle with the gender of objects. Like, did you guys know that a loaf of bread is masculine, but a slice of bread is feminine? So I'm like, oh, all this time I've been sticking my penis in the loaf. Which isn't the best joke. I'm aware of this. It's about a 7 on 10. But here's the thing. I had a whole other minute and 50 seconds that didn't involve me fucking baked goods. But when they edited the show together, they were like, okay, and now for the vulgar comedians. And they cut to me, sticking my penis in a loaf of bread. And they were like, eh. Big red rejected sign on my face. So I moved to Toronto. So I heard this commercial on the radio recently, advertising for Trojan condoms. And it ended with the slogan, Trojan condoms, protection you can trust. Really? How the fuck did this ever happen, guys? Like, at what point in history did the Trojans become so trustworthy for protection? I mean, Troy got sacked. It burned to the ground. The Trojans couldn't protect their own city from 40 Greeks hiding in a wooden horse. So I think they need to change their slogan from protection you can trust to Trojan condoms. If the Greeks penetrate you, it's gonna burn. It's gonna burn, people. So speaking of naming prophylactics after ancient civilizations, I can't believe no one ever named the diaphragm after the Spartans. I mean, think about it. They were a thin layer of defense, protecting a narrow passage from millions of enemy soldiers. Spartan diaphragms, useless against attacks from behind. They got half a clap from this table. It's actually my favorite joke. It involves many of my favorite things, history, anal, and a fun film with Gerard Butler. So I am from Montreal. Anyone here from Montreal or been to? Yeah? So I grew up in the West Island. I grew up in a little place called Pierrefonds. Yeah, don't get too excited. That's French for rock bottom. Which isn't a bad place to start in life, I guess, huh? Nowhere to go from there but up. Anyway, I went to this place called Terry Fox Elementary School. You've heard of it? And so you guys are all familiar with the Terry Fox story, right? So I'll never forget, I was going into kindergarten. I'm 5 years old. I walk into school, and the first thing I see is this huge mural of Terry Fox on the wall, running down the street, police car following behind him. Which is a lot when you're 5. Like, guys, I love Terry Fox, okay? He's a Canadian hero, and his story is a story about triumph of the human spirit and overcoming obstacles and courage. Yeah, when you're like 10. When you're 5, that's a horrifying fucking story. I remember asking my kindergarten teacher, I'm like, Miss, why is that man with the robot leg being chased by the cops? Is he a transformer? And then she told me the story of Terry Fox, and I'll never forget it. She was like, well, Terry was once a little boy with 2 good legs just like you. But then a terrible disease started to eat one of them, so the doctors had to cut it off. And that made Terry very sad. But then, you know what they did? They gave him a leg made out of metal. And then Terry Fox started to run from one side of Canada to the other side, raising money and awareness for cancer. And he called it the Marathon of Hope. And I'm like, oh, really? Did he make it? Yeah, no, he didn't make it. Got as far as Thunder Bay where the cancer spread to his lungs and he died. Dreams don't always come true. Welcome to Terry Fox Elementary School, kid. Anyhow, thanks a lot, Gora. You guys have been an absolutely awesome crowd. Enjoy the rest of your night. Have a good show.
And Bingham, everyone! Yes! Oh my goodness, you guys were amazing. I can't tell you how much I appreciate that you've come out to Gore, to Kerr friggin' Farm, and we have, oh sorry, I pointed at you, but that makes me think, can we give hold your applause for a sec, but I want to acknowledge, we have Adam who's on video, Francis who's doing amazing job at tech, we've got Manuel on photos, and Steve Gore, the mastermind behind all of this, and our sponsors. Round of applause. And I had an idea because I've been doing cabarets for the last 20 years. I did one at the Toronto Film Festival. I did my Cabaret Rochelle for 2,000 people at the Just for Laughs last year. And together we've made a decision that we are going to do a cabaret here in Gore, October 24th, burlesque, music, magic, comedy, and drag people. We have a rap artist coming. You get to see boobs. If some of you are conservative, oh, I don't know if I want to see boobs in public. Come on, fuckers. You know, there was a guy that came to our show and he was like, I don't know about burlesque. And at the end, Costume Cream, who I'm going to invite to come to the show, does her final boob thing. And he nudges his friend and he's like, hey, that takes talent. You guys will adore the show. It's called Cabaret Rochelle. I think our tickets are going to fly off the friggin' shelf really quick. I know tickets aren't on a shelf, but... What? Oh, October 15th. Okay, yes, it's October 15th, and the tickets are $30, right? We're upping it $5 because it costs money to get your boobs in public, and the drag artist, it costs money to leave the house in glitter. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to do the Cabaret Rochelle here on the 15th, and apparently we're also going to continue doing the shows inside during the winter because you guys are crazy. What I want to do is we're going to do something I also thank you, all of you, for coming and, you know, supporting comedy. The way to show all of us that you love what we do is to find us out there on social media. All of us are on social media. Get on there. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, Grindr. Come on, check us out, people. And lastly, we're going to do a little panorama video, and I want to start that by bringing back all the fabulous comedians that we saw tonight. We had Ben Cardilli at the beginning, Simone Holder, and last but not least, Dan Bingham. And apparently we have a panorama video, and music's going to start. You guys are going to go nuts, and I'm going to talk about Kerr Farm. Hit it. We're at Kerr Farm right now in Gore! Yes! one more time for my camera. Thank you so much, and we look forward to seeing you on the 15th of October. I love you guys, and follow me at Rashelly on Instagram.
Well, this chick got up and she slapped Johnny's face.